Hi everybody, it's Doug Simon DJ for NobodyMotivation.com. Now today I am fully blessed. This is a big interview. I have Dexter from Mula Cakes in the house, representing Thornton Heath and Global. So I'm going to have the opportunity to run with him on a few questions that I feel that you guys we want to ask him and you can learn from. Okay, so straight off the bat, Dexter, what's up? How you doing? You good?
All good, man.
All right, good. It's been a long time coming.
It really has.
Long time.
We're here.
We're here, and how do you feel?
I feel amazing.
good?
Like, I don't know, you caught me on a really good day, sun's out, I'm in a really
Beautiful.
good mood, so probably get a good lot out of me.
Fantastic. So, what are your biggest challenges in being an entrepreneur?
Oh, well, challenges. Everything's a challenge.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur is a challenge in itself because the stereotype person that we're supposed to be failures or we're supposed to be drug dealers. And as far as I'm concerned, coming from where I come from, South London, Brixton, that has been one of my biggest challenges, which is being different. Like, majority of my friends or family will be drug dealers or road people, not saying I wasn't when I was younger, but as in the challenge I faced to be different was a challenge in itself. When everyone wants to rob banks or something and I want to go and play football, that's being different. When everyone wants to smoke cocaine, for instance, and I didn't want to even touch it, that was being different. So I was always the single one out.
Yeah.
So that is a challenge in itself, just being an entrepreneur.
Wow. So what gave you the spark, the idea? You're animated individual. I can see you got full of energy, and guys out there, it is intoxic. It will cover you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, don't be around me too long.
Being around people like that, that's what you need if you're stuck in a rut, okay? But what inspired you to start the brand, and what was the rationale behind that?
I think mainly it's about wanting to be different. I was tired of everything I was seeing. It's a domino effect. It kept going round in circles throughout the ages, throughout the years, from my parents, from my older cousins, coming down. And why I wanted to be different was because I had no one to ask about this side of life. And I believe the street and road side of life is a very small part of life. But that's what we know majority.
Yeah.
So I want to know some more stuff in life. And where I was so stuck trying to ask people who don't know stuff, how to get to places, I made a promise to myself that I'm going to become the role model that I always wanted, so that no one else underneath me can feel stuck how I was when they wanted to change from being a road person or just being a normal person to being a business person. You know, I want to be able to give that advice. That's why I do so much mentoring. That's why I do so much for the community, because I think it's only right that each one teach one. And we're put on this earth before a lot of people who's younger than us.
Most definitely.
And if we're not trying to make it better, then they don't really stand a chance.
Yeah, and there's something about you have to move to grow.
Yeah.
And you said your background was South London.
South London,
We're
Brixton.
still
This
in
is
South
me.
London,
I'm
yeah,
South London, Brixton, but it's a different.
But
So,
right now
yeah,
here, we're in Thornton Heath.
Yeah, in my shop, which still sells product. This is what we've got to understand. I'm still selling product. I'm still selling it to customers.
Yeah.
It's just I've changed the product. And we need to learn how to grow and elevate and think outside of the box rather than always copy what's nearest to us or what we've been shown.
Yeah. Because growth can be painful. So what actual pains, in terms of being an entrepreneur, I was taught a very long time ago, it's all about responsibility. And prior to recording this, me and Dexter were going back and forth in terms of some of the responsibilities that we have to have ourselves just to record this video.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, okay, so you guys who are watching at home, you lot will probably see the end result. And when I mean the end result, I mean after your internet's paid for, after you've clicked into the YouTube page that's actually been put there for you as a platform. You don't notice all of these tiny things, let alone notice that this young man had to invest in the camera, had to invest in the lighting. We usually would have a lighting person, a camera person, an editing person, a runner, a makeup artist, a stylist. But you guys won't understand that because you don't understand the process. The easiest way I can explain it to them is this. When you want to become a Rasta, you have minimal hair. That process that you have to go through from being someone with no hair to being a long Rasta people don't want to go through that journey.
Most definitely.
So when you have small picky head, people want to laugh and it's a joke and yes, picky about Rasta and
yeah.
but the second you've got a decent amount of dreads on your head, all of a sudden, yes, Russ.
Yeah.
Big up Rasta.
Yeah.
Yes, Russ. Respect Russ. But again, that process, that whole middle part, that whole journey, no one actually saw it.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are willing to go through that to get the end result.
Yeah, and for myself personally, it's all those disciplines you mentioned, from lighting to stylist, all these, we all recognize you can go to university and get a degree in this.
In
That
each
means
of
you
these
can
things.
dedicate 7 years, 5 years, whatever it is, to be proficient in these things. But the day we decide to be responsible for ourselves, ownership over our business enterprises, we have to recognize those skills that we could go to university for, we have to learn ourselves.
Yeah, we have to learn
and there's nothing better than being self-taught in any discipline, you know, because those skills, again, they're transferable skills. So this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
So being an entrepreneur, I did a video prior about the challenges that you go through being alone, you know, going sometimes against the grain.
Yeah.
What keeps you on an even keel? What makes you remain confident, remain optimistic, focused on your objectives?
I won't even say remain, because sometimes I'm not. It's not easy to stay safe. It's not easy to have a healthy mind. But what helps me is remembering what to be grateful for, what I asked for, and why I'm doing this. So let me go through them again. It's what to be grateful for. So be grateful that I've got the opportunity to walk, to talk, to breathe, to wake up this morning and be creative. I'm grateful for that. There's many of thousands of people who will never get an opportunity to see an iPhone, let alone to start thinking, let me start a business. Remembering what you've asked for. So I have to always remember, I asked to be a businessman. I mean, I prayed to God. I prayed and I said, God, man, I just want to have a couple businesses and like get paid to do some talking and get some bookings all over the country. You see, the second that started happening and it started getting tiring and hurting and it was a lot, then I remembered, you asked for this. So they say be careful what you ask for.
Most definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And then the last one is, you've got to remember why you started it. That's what keeps me sane. If I give up, I feel in my heart, like I've got goosebumps now saying it, I feel in my heart that I failed you. I feel that I said I'm gonna look out for you, and then now I'm giving up. I felt that I'm gonna get to a level so I can teach you, and then I give up. Like, that's failing my young people. That's failing people after me. I said to myself, I promise I'm gonna get there so they don't go through that. And I have 3 children, so I have to do it for them. So like I said, being grateful, remembering why you're doing it, and always being disciplined and understanding that anything can change at any time. Do you know what I mean? So
And
I asked for it.
being prepared for the inconsistencies in terms of your own mood.
So what do you think? People believe, really believe, because I do motivational speaking and because I am looking successful, people believe I'm always happy, I'm always got money, I'm always just like never upset or never stressed, and I'm the opposite. But it's just that I try not to put that energy into the world. But every day I'm stressed.
Think about
Every
the
day I'm
energy,
upset.
guys.
Yeah, you got to think about the energy that you're putting into the world, because the energy you put into the world is the energy that's just going around you. Then you put that energy, then he puts that energy, then she puts that energy. All of a sudden, everyone's in this testosterone mood, and then it's not going to make us progress. Do you know what I mean? So you got to think about the energy that you're putting out. So every day I wake up and I get stressed, or I feel down, or I feel tired, because us entrepreneurs, we work relentlessly around the clock. So I get tired. Sometimes I fall asleep in my car when I've just parked up outside my house. Do you know what I mean? But again, you got to remember that you asked for this.
And again, with the energy levels, be careful who you gravitate to, because they can sap the energy directly out of you. And think about the words that we use in terms of positive words, reinforcing. Because I could have come in here and we could have a negative conversation about anything.
Just about time then, for instance.
And again, in terms of your past, you know, none of us choose to be born.
There we go. And the same thing, none of us had control on what happens when we was younger. Whether we was brought up in this day and age, that day and age, one parent, two parent, whatever. All I'm asking is, by the time you're of age to realize that you can look after yourself, to realize that you are responsible for the energy you display in this world, to realize that you have opportunity, then that's the day you should start changing. That's the day you should start making a difference. You need to stop dwelling on what's happening.
Exactly, because you know.
You know.
And you be judged worse because you're somebody that knows than somebody that doesn't know.
Yeah.
Somebody doesn't know, you can say, oh yeah, you're a simpleton, you didn't know.
100%.
But for when you know, you have
When you know.
responsibility.
Exactly. The wording is do your best until you know better. But when you know better, you must do better.
That's what I was
Very
taught. And
important.
again, I was taught responsibility has two words, respond and ability. We talked about the disciplines just to record a video.
Yes.
And these are skills that we might not have in abundance.
No.
So I might not have the ability to do sound engineering, lighting, makeup, all those things that you need, but I'm learning them.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm responding
And
to
are
those
you-
to
and
those
are
things.
willing.
And I'm willing, yeah, exactly. Willing to do the
willing
knowledge.
to make the effort.
Do the knowledge.
That's what it is. It's willing to make the effort.
Even the Rasta with their follicles twisting
little
to become
twist,
dreads.
little twist. That is long,
It's
bruv. Long. But when it's done, it's a beautiful sight. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Business is long. I've done over 100 pop-up shops before I got my one shop.
100 pop-up shops.
100 pop-up shops.
Some of you out there are struggling just to get your first stand sorted out.
Yeah.
100.
And then you
This
say
is
they
what
want to
it
be
takes.
like Mula Cake.
Yeah.
I don't find it disrespectful. I find it frustrating for yourself because I feel like, have you researched what even Mula Cake has done? Let alone researched how Starbucks came about, how McDonald's came about, how all these big brands got to where they are. People say they want to be like Giggs. And I've told people numerous of times, Giggs probably recorded about 1,000 songs before you heard Talking the Hardest.
definitely, yeah.
And I know this because I'm a musician and I worked closely with him. Or you want to be like Lionel Messi, and as I said, he's probably training right now.
Most definitely.
And you lot don't walk around with a football. You want to be a footballer. Usain Bolt, he trains so many times, so throughout the year for one race. Dedication.
Yeah, most definitely. The dedication
is crazy.
means that when you have your competition, or what we call the moment of truth, you just respond.
Yeah.
Whereby, if you didn't do the maths beforehand,
Yeah.
you're going to treat the actual moment of the truth as, oh my God, now I'm in a test.
Yeah, I'm in practice time.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
it's game
it's
time
game
every day,
time.
all day. You
All
wake up
day.
with your game face on. If you
Yeah.
don't, you'll be crushed. Life is not easy.
It's not.
And I don't like people, seriously, I don't like being judgmental, but I really have a problem with people that want short-term gratification.
No, I have a problem too.
It's the long range.
You're
We
like
have-
me. You're like me. We get frustrated.
It gets frustrating
Yeah,
because destination is always going to arrive.
Yeah.
And those of you who cannot save, who cannot plan, you know, this interview was done based upon planning.
Perfect planning prevents poor performance.
Most definitely, and
Very
you have to
important.
plan things in your life. Be around somebody that doesn't plan, and you see the conversation goes very negative
Yeah.
quickly.
Or
Don't be a
it
victim.
finishes very quick. You speak for 2 minutes. And
Most
I think,
definitely.
Oh, nothing else to say? Oh, okay.
Most definitely. So, in terms of being black,
Yep.
your own business, you know, and we challenging stereotypes. That's how we started the conversation.
Yeah.
Stereotypes. What are the things that you do to break down the stereotypes yourself?
Okay, so the couple of stereotypes I've gone through in my life is one of them which really frustrated me, which was, you right, Dex, you right, yeah, how you been? Yeah, you still doing that t-shirt thing? And I think, rah, is that how you see my business? As a t-shirt thing? This business feeds my children. But if that's how you see it, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I haven't displayed it to you properly. So there, right there, that tiny thing I faced made me go and work super hard. So I worked super hard from that feeling they made me feel. The same of,
Rocket fuel.
I use the rocket fuel. The same as when people say, like, black-owned business. I don't want to be a black-owned business. I'm just a business.
Yes,
You don't hear it saying white-owned business. The reason why we're saying black-owned business is because it's supposed to be a shell shock factor. We've got a black-owned business. Why? We're supposed to have black-owned businesses. The difference is I don't jump behind when everyone says, yeah, we should support black businesses. No, we should support all businesses that have a criteria. So when you do have any business, you should have manners, You should have a receipt book. You should have a website. You should have cleanliness. You should have. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't need to be black. So these little stereotype things is what's giving me my fuel. This has made me believe that, okay, I'm gonna get to a level where the only thing you can judge me on is my skin color. That is my
That's
fuel.
powerful there.
The only thing that you're allowed to judge me is my skin color. Because I can dress like you, I can talk like you, I can achieve what you can achieve, I can do what you can do. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. And when we talk,
It's that serious.
and when we talk about money, money is a construct.
Money.
And understand something: money doesn't care, has no feelings. The one rule about money is this: money gravitates to people who know how to use it.
Don't
to
chase money.
respect it.
Otherwise money will run away.
Yeah, money runs away from people that don't know how to manage it. That's why when certain people get paid, the first thing they do is spend it. Because you know what? The money knows you are not worthy for it to be in
So
your
let me throw
pockets.
something on our little on our platform for those of you that overstand. If you don't understand about money management, that you can fail in life. For those of you that are on benefits, for those of you that are on this thing called universal credit, just remember I warned you. Learn money management.
Most
Otherwise, you will lose your house. You will lose your freedom. You will lose your sanity. Remember I said money management.
Most definitely.
It's
And
very
do
important.
you know what? We're not here to push people down. Society can also bring you down. But, you know, just on a humanistic wildlife type thing,
Right.
there's no animal in existence that's on benefits. At all there. We're at the top of the food chain for a reason. So if you do fall on hard times, that's temporary.
That's temporary
It's
defeat. That's what
temporary.
failure is. It's a
It's
temporary defeat.
thing. You
yeah.
learn from it, you grow.
Yeah.
But from when you're having it to make your long-term plans, 5, 10, when you get to the 10, 15 years time,
Yeah.
you look back and thinking, all that latent potential, and you talk like this, I coulda.
Yeah.
I coulda.
The regret
I
stages.
coulda. And
Don't
that's
get to
something
the
that's-
regret stages.
No, you don't want to be a
But
coulda
it will
person.
burn. Even though I haven't got there, so I wouldn't know properly. But if you want to know from one of my mentors that tell me, go and speak to old people. And you would hear their stories about what they could have done, what they should have done, what they shouldn't have done, and what they wish they did do.
Yeah.
So now you have the two hands, the two eyes, the breathing, and they're still healthy and still young. Go and do. Go and try.
That's
the
it.
big world out there. Go and
That's
explore
it. Go, show, improve. This is what it's about. And remember, guys, all of this means nothing if we don't apply and share.
Yeah.
Each one, teach
one,
one.
teach one.
Douglas, Dexter, Nobody Motivation, Mula Cakes, we out.
Don't get left cakeless, people.
Most definitely. yeah.
Yes, brother.
It's all good.
All good, man.
Thank you very much.
All good.
Thank you.
Checkpoint reached.
Spreading the knowledge. Yeah, we got to spread the knowledge. We got to spread the knowledge for our people to grow.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Times changed. There's been a big shift. Like when we went from tape to record, or from record to
Yeah,
CD,
yeah.
or
Good.
from CD to MP3. Like, we're in a new age. And what people need to understand is nobody has been here yet.
Yeah.
So ain't nobody got a step further than anyone. Yes, the people who's been studying it for long have got more experience, yeah. But the majority of the world, they're new to internet like us.
Oh, most definitely.
So as fast as they're studying, you need to study too.
do you know what?
Can be on the same level.
Dexter's bang on there. New age, new dawn.
New dawn.
There's parity here.
There's chance for everyone.
Did you know? Pass your phone for a second. Did you know? Everybody has the same screen real estate on this device.
There we go.
Everybody. You could be the owner of Harrods,
Yeah.
Sainsbury's,
Yeah.
I don't care what store it is,
Yeah.
a multi-billion-pound store, whatever. But the bottom line is this, in the multimedia age,
Yeah.
we all dominate the same space.
same space.
So that means there's parity. So
Yeah.
there's no more first world, second
Second
world,
and all that.
third
I
world.
used to tell them that when I
Forget
used to
that
do
nonsense.
music. When I used to
Forget
do
that.
music, I used to teach them that, do you not understand you're in the same music industry as 50 Cent and Jay-Z
Yeah.
and Puff Daddy? You're in the same. I said, no, how though? Them and they are made as. Okay, cool. When you put a song out on iTunes and they put a song on iTunes, the people around the world go to the same platform
Most
to
definitely.
look for the
Yeah,
songs.
most definitely.
You're in the same industry. You might be number one, they're number two. Or they might be number one and you're number four.
Yeah.
You're in the same industry. No one's bigger than no one. It's not like super fair, but there's a bigger, fairer chance on making it in life now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big playing field, and if you're not willing to put the effort and try and play,
You have to
might not
play
win.
to win.
You have to play
You have
to
to
win.
play to win. And do you know
and
what?
we don't mean the lottery. You hear me?
Forget gambling.
Forget
And
gambling.
in terms of values, don't be waiting for equality and fairness.
No.
Let's be honest.
we're
You
never gonna
don't
get
want to
that.
live in a fair world.
No,
If
we
you
don't.
do, go to a communist
We
country.
don't. So even when they're
whereby-
saying about black and white and male and female, it's the same thing. We don't want females to be like men. We don't men to be like females. We don't want black people to be like white people. We don't want white people to be like black people. It's never going to be fair. It's never going to be equal.
Most definitely,
Just
it's
start
never.
working.
Ask yourself this question: If you went to school and you studied hard for, say, your maths English exam, right? And they said, let's go and bring in an equality law.
Yeah.
So everybody in the class would get the same grade.
Yeah.
How would you then
It's
feel?
not fair. Same thing as how I feel
You know what I
sometimes
mean?
when people say, "Right here, meet Tony, he's got a clothing line," and meet Dexter as well, he's got a clothing line. And I think, "Rah, proper know Tony's clothing line. He's proper just started. He's only printed about 30 t-shirts, but you've introduced us both as clothing lines." So now Jonathan's gone away thinking, "I just met two people on two good clothing lines." I've been going for 6 years. I spent over £100,000 and putting super effort into my business, and he's just started, and straight away you put us on the same pedestal. I think, wow, that's proper not fair. But
No, but it's real because
real.
again, particularly in clothing,
Yeah.
whereby there's up north Manchester people then copying like, certain countries they'll emulate your
Emulate,
stuff,
yeah.
but you cannot take the philosophy,
the values,
the rationale,
story,
all
all
of
of
that
it,
kind
yeah,
of stuff,
yeah.
and you have to invest for your success.
So let me
know?
give you one jewel then before we go. The last jewel I'll give you is something that a man called Gary Vee made me really, really realize, which is we live in a new world, which is social media world, which now everybody has the right and does put a title on their Instagram page. I'm a director, I'm a life coach, I'm an entrepreneur. The difference is we are still in a place where we can't measure it. So let me make you understand what he means. If you say you're a footballer, and I say I'm a footballer, someone comes along and says, I know two footballers. That's cool. Now you tell him who you play for. You play for Mitcham on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I play for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Now who's really a footballer? Do you understand? So now he's got entrepreneur on his profile. I got entrepreneur on mine. Cool.
Yeah.
But Donny works as a part-time job and he hustles. My business pays for my life. So who's really an entrepreneur? I don't know. But right now, there's no way of judging it.
Yeah,
and like I said, everyone's riding the wave.
Yeah.
But when the wave stops, you really swim.
Yeah, when Donald Trump says fake news, right,
Yeah.
we all laugh at him, but really that's what you're alluding to.
Here we go.
You are whatever Google says you are.
Yes.
Google your name right now.
Yeah, Google your name right now. Your
Right
real
now.
name, not your pet name, not your company name. Your
See
name.
what comes
See what
up.
comes up. Yeah. I
So
learned
we
that a long
have,
time
we
ago.
have to
Yeah.
take care of our digital footprint. That's
Yeah.
our signature
Yeah.
in the virtual world. But now the virtual world can literally pay for the real world.
real world,
So we
yeah.
have to control all dimensions. We're multidimensional beings now.
100%.
You know, just over there in the corner there, I grabbed. Look.
The key person of influence.
Key person of influence. You have to
My
read.
good old mate Daniel.
You know,
get me?
they say
Yeah.
leaders are readers. You know,
Trust
the first
me.
letter will define your success. Change the L to an R, become a reader, you will be a leader. But don't read nothing. Trust me, the result will be evidenced in the things that you do not have in
Remember
your
they
life.
say knowledge is power, you
Most
understand?
definitely, most
But it's
definitely.
only power if you use it. That's what I'm saying.
Most definitely.
But yeah, as I said, don't get left cakeless. Go get your cake up, mulacake.com.
Most definitely. Download your free 140 Rule ebook from the 140rule.com website. The links are below.